All right, hey, this is May 2nd, 2026, and this is my grandson, Colton Castleberry. Colton Carlisle Castleberry, we call it Triple C, but I like to call him Trip because he's a trip. Good nickname, isn't that? Anyway, this is Denny Cole, and we're at the Beaufort Maritime Museum. This is my second time doing a display here, but this time I went a little big. And this is my 1892 Salisbury Allen outboard. It's the only one manufactured by Salisbury, and it's the only one known to exist. There are 3 prototypes out there. It looks like that they must have started the manufacturing plant around 1894 and 95 on the advertising sheet. Below it is the earliest steam outboard, Boucher steam. There actually is one in the Smithsonian called a Bathe steam, B-A-T-H-E, and it hasn't been on display for 20 years, so this is the oldest one that I have. There's one other known. These are some Ted Masiag Clark trawlers with a real Clark trawler in his boxes, and early 1920s, late teens, 20s wind-ups, including the Benelales there, the yellow one, and the Orkin, which is quite collectible, and Ted Masiag's boxes there for the 2 motors on the top. Over here, my latest favorite is the 1920 Johnson Outboard Company made the Johnson motor wheel bicycle. A friend of mine has an absolutely amazing one on a Hawthorne Flyer bike, and we took a friend, Michael Hooper, incredible modeler, used pictures and took a look at his Johnson motor wheel and made this one for us in 8 scale. He made 2 of them. Now we're here with the test unit around 1910. It's patented 1910 from Steel Materials Company up in Detroit. They made the famous LePage, and these are all magnet motors that spin with magnets going flappers back and forth rather than any kind of an armature. And they also made the LePage, and they were in the 1932 World's Fair in a boat with their inboard motor with the Straits Company, all derived from their original little platform to play with. I guess it would be a little scientific motor unit from 1910. Of course, up here's another very popular but hard to find magnet motor called the Speedy Quad, and my 2 Orkin Craft. Extremely collectible 1920s wind-up boats. Now we're getting into the electric motors of the early 1930s. These are some of the international models, IMPs. Those are the 3 pre-war models. There are actually 2 of them, 2 different models, but I found one of them with a brass plate and another one with an aluminum plate, so I had to have it. Let's see. Here's another motor by Michael Hooper on a British Seagull stand, his Seagull. And Christopher, oh boy, can't remember his name, in the UK made this in RC Seagulls last year. But we've got Ted Masiag's Indian in its box. This is a full-size Alto Cub 1938 on its manufactured stand. And Ted Masiag made these 1/3 scale Cubs, and I made the stands for him. And then we're getting into my Kid Cole models with my Cub in 1/4 scale. We've got the Coban back there, and the Waterman single, as well as my invented Waterman twin. Now we're getting to post-World War II with international models. These really, we don't know exactly when they started, but it was probably late 40s. because they said occupied Japan on them. And they were probably out of business on these metal motors by around 1955 or 56. Of course, we all know K&O, and you've all seen my K&O display of the generics. These are all the motors that they sold in variations. I like to show the variations on some of these. Of course, mostly colors, but if you look close at the sea darts here, the red and the blue, there was a screw-on plate version to go on your model boat, or a clip-on if you had the plastic boat. So that's all the variations as well. In the 1950s, other than K&O, the Aristocraft was the more expensive boats. And here's all the variations of it. The top row are all on their original stands. The boxes even say sturdy display stand included, so that's why all of those are on their original stand. I'll get up close for a second. And then down below, I make these metal stands, and these are all the Aristocrafts sold, including the first two to the left that did not come with stands. You notice some of them on the bottom row are the same. The little red ones are the same. We believe that they sold the stands early, and then later on, to cost reduce, they started going without the stands. Of course, the Evinrude dealer handouts, I've been showing this collection since 2008, and Scott Atwater joined a few years after them. Last year, we did show my speed motor collection, as well as the Flarecraft collection, a Flarecraft boat and all the motors. Flarecraft did start out with a metal motor right there in the middle, and the zoom motor to the left. Notice that the graphics of this thing are the same graphics on the right side for the Flarecraft, but this was more generic, and I did move that motor slightly in the pack and amplify it. It does say Langcraft on the back of it, but I put it with the Flarecraft display because of the graphics. Moving right along, I've shown my Shukos before. I love the little blow-up boat, and that comes with a little steering wheel and a cable to run it around. And of course, they're car boat. So let's see what else. Otaki. I made a big display out of a very small number of motors here. All six of those down below are actually slightly different, and from the top you can tell. So you want to point them out. There are two colors on some of them, and so there's a left color and a right color version, and an all-white one, and the all-white ones are towards the front. The ones on the left, they put the decal on level to the cowl, and the ones on the right, the decal is going up towards the tip of the cowl. So that's how I ended up with six of them. There's every color combination and matched with every decal combination. The Olympias are very tough to find. I've only ever found one box, and I know where one other is, but I haven't twisted his arm yet. But I do have two white ones. Notice the one on the left came with blue wires. These are plastic motors, so you can't get them apart. And I like that as a variant. Jack Browning blessed us all with learning about variants, and for me that was a variant. So your Olympias. Knickerbocker, I've showed this one a couple of years ago, and the Knickerbockers are great, but I did expand the Knickerbocker to the airboat version of the Knickerbocker. This is a U.S. company in California, and we're up into the early 1960s at this point. It might have been late 50s. Down here are the sprites from UK, and I gotta fix this thing. Okay, so there's the sprites from the UK. I'm working on every color combination. I do have duplicates on the top because I'm looking for another red cover, but eventually we'll get that one. My newest display is all built around the 4 boaterifics in the middle and the original comic book ad in the back. Built it like a store display, but this shows how they all evolved. They came in the boxes down below with their motors. Then the blister packs also sold the motors separately so that you could have multiple motors for your boat, and you could change the motor, the little electric motors on these. On the outside, I'm showing the inboard versions boats. They had 6 of those. So I'll do one more scan of this thing. And that's the whole thing. And last but not least, this is my Radio Shack collection. I started showing this one quite a long time ago, maybe 15 or more years ago, I think. I did expand it a little bit, but here's all the Tycos and motors sold by Radio Shack. And the 2 in the middle I discovered the same motor on a pool sweeper. And so I had to add that little thing. Anyway, let's see. I think the last time I did one of these, I showed myself, because I've done videos, but I don't show me. So I'm going around, and look at that. Hey, you still can't see me because I'm not done. I'm in a model boat club in New Bern, and these are members of our model boat club. Look at these profiles. It's very hard to appreciate these. But these things, the gentleman makes these hulls. The shape and precision on them, it's just curvature, absolutely perfect. It's probably impossible from a video to even appreciate it. All these larger scale model boats. He's allowed to put fingerprints on them because he makes them. These are the guys that made these large ones. They're 2 brothers, and they make the very large scale ones. And now we're coming around the corner to some smaller stuff here, and look at the workmanship and all the fine detail on ribs and seats and oars. By the way, making an oar to look precision is no simple task. It is for a good modeler, but let me give it a try sometime. And just passing through here, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to catch them all. Thank you very much. There we go. I love these little craft. When I see these, I want to stick an outboard on them. I should bring some over. Smaller scale stuff from the kiddos. And there we go. Oh, that's all right. I was getting his head and the boat. Hey, say hello to the future. Go like this. Hey, hello. Because by the time I turn this off and back on, it's already in the future. I always love to get people to say hello to the future. All right, now I'll show me. Here I am, everybody. See ya.